Hey there, my name is Francesco, and today we're going to be doing the biscotti recipe. I've already gone ahead and done all the meats. I actually ended up doing the meats ahead of time, just because I ended up not being able to sleep last night, so I thought that would be a productive way to go ahead and jumpstart this process. First and foremost, the eggs are all ready in our bowl because I didn't want to waste another bowl just to contain them. But first and foremost, our oven has gone ahead and started to preheat. I've gone ahead and cut parchment papers to the proper lengths. We have the all-purpose flour right here that we will be end up using for dusting flour. This is all of our normal flour that we're going to be using in the recipe, as well as this is our baking powder. Our baking powder we're going to go ahead and put in. And just like the video said, mix it together so that way it's equally spread out as our leavening agent. I do not have a sifter, so this is, like what was said, the best possible method for this. Now, we're going to go ahead and add the anise directly to this mixture. It really does smell like licorice. I'm not a fan of licorice, but I am a fan of biscotti, so I'm not necessarily sure how that works, but I'm sure the combination of everything makes everything taste better. We have our sugar. And finally, I'll add the vegetable oil right before I start mixing it, and then we will go ahead and slowly incorporate this, and the next video I'll post is our combined mixture. Okay, so after mixing it all in the stand mixer and slowly adding the flour, I also scraped the sides to make sure all the flour was fully incorporated. We have our dense dough. I can still smell the anise off of it, which is kind of insane, but like what was said in the video, I just want to go ahead and work it just a little bit so it's a little bit more incorporated and not as, say, scraggly. So that's why I have some dusting flour. Then I did see in the recipe, after we have to go ahead and roll it out. I don't know why, but my camera just cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep rolling it out. And according to the recipe, it is going to be about a half an inch thick when it comes to pressing it down. It also says to go ahead and separate it into 2 loaves in our recipe. Yes, divide dough into 2 pieces. So I'm going to divide it about right in the middle. That will also fit perfectly for what we have already cut out. I am a huge biscotti fan, so I really am hoping for this to turn out great, because this is something I will definitely use for the rest of my life. Okay, so we have our first block. It's gone ahead and been rolled out to about half an inch, nice and square. I like that this is something that isn't necessarily immensely technical, and that we can do it with just our hands in terms of shaping instead of rolling the whole thing, just as long as the majority of it is rather consistent. Let's see. Okay. It's about a half inch on both of these. It was considerably more in the first one. This needs just to be beefed up just a bit when it comes to the overall sizing, since it wasn't about a half an inch, it was rather like 1/4 of an inch or so. And then we get about the exact same on both ends. Just want to make sure it's consistent on both sides. And then we're going to be placing these in the oven to cook once, and then we'll take them out, slice them down, and then bake them again. Because as I learned from the video, which I had no idea, biscotti means twice baked. That's incredibly cool. Did not know that. And we're going to go ahead and see where this goes next. I've gone ahead and pulled the biscotti. This is the current color of them. They are pretty golden brown. Right now, any reason why they might be a little bit lighter is because of the flash that's currently on them. But besides that, I do notice there is a tiny bit of cracking, which I'm assuming is probably normal. And the flour that I used to dust it is still present. However, after it cools, I'll go ahead and throw them back in so they get further toasted, and then I'll go ahead and try them. Here's the biscotti after being cut, and I'm going to go ahead and throw it back in for the about 10 minutes that was presented in the recipe, but I'll be monitoring them to make sure everything gets golden brown. This is our final product. As I've gone ahead and let both sides cook for about 10 minutes on both sides. The second side I only did around 7 minutes, just because it seemed like some of these on the initial turn did go ahead and brown out a little more than I thought. I'm gonna let them cool, and then I'll go ahead and brew a cup of coffee to actually try them.